Okay, this is CPE 3.1 for methods of research, scheduled for 1 p.m. up to 2:30 p.m. Currently, we have how many participants? 23 participants. We're just waiting for 2 other students to be in the room. Later, I will check the attendance. Okay, let's have a review about Mendeley software. Give one advantage of Mendeley software, Mr. Alegre. What is one advantage of Mendeley software?
So yung Mendeley po ay yung para pong mas madali po sa kanya mag-site po.
Okay. Okay, that's correct. For easy citations of references, that's one advantage of the Mendeley software. Miss Aliones. Is Miss Aliones already here?
Yes, sir.
Give another advantage of Mendeley.
One advantage, sir, is that meron ng sinusundan na style doon sa pagsasite ng references.
Okay, that's good. You can change styles from APA to IEEE. No hassle in changing styles. And it is already formatted on that style. When you cite that reference, that style will be incorporated in the bibliography. That's correct. Mr. Arevalo, any other advantage of Mendeley?
Sir, yung sa ano po, yung i-click na lang po natin yung bibliography, then automatic na po siya na meron siyang lalabas. Hindi na po natin siya itatype.
Okay, that's correct. Another advantage, as said by Mr. Arevalo, is automatic generation of the bibliography. Automatic generation of the bibliography. Imagine you have 30 to 100 references. If you do it manually, that is troublesome, tiresome. But in Mendeley, just click the bibliography and it will generate automatically. How about Ryan Christopher Bahilio?
Another advantage po yung nakapag-upload po ng article sa Mendeley po. Pag kahit po i-sign out yung account, ma-retrieve pa rin po dahil po na-upload sa server nila.
Okay, that's good. That's true. Because you have an account in Mendeley, you have uploaded your articles, your conference proceedings in Mendeley. And in some cases, you leave home without your laptop, you can still access your Mendeley account using another computer because it's already in their server. Okay, Trisha Banag, do you have another advantage of Mendeley?
Ano po, yung mga articles po na ginagamit mo is madaling ma-organize.
Okay, for organization. For example, you are citing these references, you gathered references for article number 1. You just save it into one folder. And you have another article All the references for that article will go to folder number 2, so on and so forth. It's easy to organize the downloaded article. That's correct. For Ms. Tricia May Banag. Kent Lawrence Barce.
Sir,
Same question.
updating all the parts of the documents when you're changing your citations so that you don't have to change the bibliography by yourself.
Okay, that's correct. But it was mentioned already. Another advantage that was not mentioned. Can you think of another advantage?
So, ako po sir, yung sa ano po, you can share uploaded files po na sa others po.
Come again, Mr. Simbi.
You can share uploaded files in Mendeley to others po.
You can share uploaded files to others. Have you tried this sharing?
Yes
How is-
po,
how is-
nag-try
how
po
is
ako
it
sa
done?
iba.
How is it done? How to share articles with others? How do you do it?
Yung ginawa ko lang po is mayroon po dun sa option po na ano niya po. May link po na ano. Pwede niyo pong pag-sendan. Yun po yung ginawa ko. Sinerge ko lang.
Okay. So it has these sharing features. Anybody else that have tried sharing their articles using Mendeley? What platform can you share this article, Mr. Simbi? Mark Lester. Do you mean you can share it into another social media platform? Is that what you're saying?
Yes po sir.
Okay. Are you saying that just announcing to
Ay,
other
hindi po.
people?
Yung ano po is, pwede i-invite niyo po siya sa group po. Group po.
Okay.
Yung meron po dun is, yung meron pong create na group po. Tapos pwede niyo pong ilagay po yung name po ng account po ng sa Mendeley po. Kunwari po is, yung itong account po ng Mendeley na sa friend nyo is, pwede niyo po ilagay yung username po nila. Or yung email address po pala.
Okay. I have not explored the features of Mendeley. Thank you for mentioning that. We'll explore that features of Mendeley. Anybody that has an advantage, can you give an advantage of Mendeley that was not mentioned?
Sir.
Who is that?
Delfino po.
Delfino.
Sir, ano po, isa pong advantage ng Mendeley is na mas napapabilis po nito yung paggawa ng manuscript or yung research paper. Kasi po, pag magsa-cite ka po ng isang RRL sa yung research po, di mo na po kailangang i-type yung bibliography. So, ano na po, automatic na po siyang ma-type doon. Kaya mas mapapabilis po yung paggawa nyo ng research paper.
Okay, that's correct. In relation to that, how about the arrangement of the article that you have cited? Another advantage of Mendeley is when you have already entered the citation and you think of another article related to the previous citation, you can add that citation to the already cited articles. And for example, there are 2 previous citation, and you need another citation related to those 2. You can add another citation, and the arrangement will be automatically generated. For example, the previous are 1, 2, and you put the newest citation before 1 and 2, the newest citation will become 1, and 1 will become 2, and 3, and 2 will become 3. Have you tried that? Have you tried that feature? Have you observed that advantage?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Raymart, Angelo, any advantage of Mendeley that was not mentioned?
Siguro po sir, makakahanap po tayo ng relevant papers based on
Come again? Raymart?
kasi po, di ba po ina-add po natin yung each PDF sa Mendeley po. Tapos,
Okay, sige. Raymart. Okay, let's move on to our next topic. Okay. Any other advantage? Anyone that was not mentioned? How about disadvantages? Have you seen any disadvantages or of Mendeley? What have you observed? What are the disadvantages that you observe while using Mendeley?
Sir, ako po.
Sige, Bia Joy Di Makil.
Ano po, yung nagde-deactivate po siya ng itself pag matagal na pong hindi ginagamit.
Tama yan. That's right. There will come a time after, if you are not using your Mendeley for quite such a long time, the next time you open your Word, the Mendeley is not there, or it is not in your add-ins. So you need to activate it again. So that's one disadvantage of Mendeley. It can deactivate itself. It will gone missing the next time you need to use it. It is not in your Word add-in. That's why in our second Mendeley video, it's about adding lost Mendeley plugin in MS Word. That's very important because you need to master that procedure, bringing back or calling back, adding again the Mendeley in your MS Word. So that's one disadvantage. See, be a joy. Any other disadvantage of Mendeley? Meron pa ba?
Sir.
Is there any?
Oo, di ba? Tahimik po
Sophia.
So, yung ano po, pwede po siyang mag-view as disadvantage and advantage. Yung na-edit po yung details ng journal po. Kasi kung tama po yung ilalagay natin, possible po siyang maging advantage. Pero kung may mali po or discrepancies, pwede po siyang maging disadvantage.
Tama yan. That's a correct observation. The details of the journal can be edited. Can be an advantage. That's right. That's a good observation. You can edit the details of the journal, of the article that you have downloaded. We call an article if it is published already. A document, your paper that is not published, we call it a manuscript. But once it is published in a journal, we call it an article, journal article. If it is in a, we have just submitted it and we are waiting for its publication, it is called a manuscript. So that's the difference between the two, the manuscript and the article. That's why we often heard the thesis manuscript. It is called a manuscript because it is not yet published. But once it is published, that manuscript will be called an article. Your paper will become an article once it is published. If it's not yet published, it is called a manuscript. And it can be, as mentioned by Sophia, it can be a disadvantage because the details of the journal might be changed for the advantage of the user. Do you know that you can just upload any document and just change the details of that document, and it will not be identified by Mendeley whether the content of that article is what is mentioned in the details. Mendeley cannot identify that. For example, you upload a Word document containing the quick brand facts and call it an article, just change the details. The Mendeley will just accept it. Okay, any other disadvantage?
Sir,
Rain Auren.
ano po, based po sa sa pag-testing ko po ng Mendeley, yung sa files na in-add dun sa Mendeley, kasi po yung mga files nasa flash drive ko. Then sinubukan kong tanggalin yung flash drive. Pero yung mga files nandun na siya sa Mendeley. Tapos nung tinanggal ko yung flash drive ko, parang hindi ko na mabuksan ulit yung mga files na nasa Mendeley. Parang kailangan yung files na sa mismong laptop or isasaksak ulit yung flash drive. Ganun.
I have not observed that yet. But how about if it is uploaded already? What they're saying is those files in your USB are already uploaded in the server of the Mendeley?
Opo.
How is that? Okay, that's what you observed.
Opo.
Okay. Okay, that's a good observation. Rain, Auren, or Sena. Any other disadvantage? Okay. But all in all,
Sir, ako po.
Who is speaking? Yela May De Castro?
Miss De Castro po.
Okay.
Yes po, sir.
What's disadvantage?
Sir, yung storage po ng Mendeley, pag pre-account lang po, is limited lang po.
Limited to how many?
Yun po yung nakikita ko. 2 GB po, sir. Yun na po yung nakikita kong disadvantage po nun. Kung gagawa ka po ng research na malakihan at kailangan mo ng maraming articles na ilalagay sa Mendeley, isa po yung disadvantages po.
Mm. Okay. How do you counter that disadvantage? We have this folder, right, in Mendeley. For example, you are working with this paper. You just upload and all the articles that you have downloaded will be uploaded into one folder. So after the paper has been published, you can delete that folder in your Mendeley. But that's good. That is a good observation. You need to erase some files because the limit is 2 gigabytes. So it can be a disadvantage. Yes, that's true. But I think that in the Mendeley that I am using, I have finished my dissertation. I have downloaded so many articles. And still, it is not yet already filled up. I can still use my Mendeley, and I have downloaded so many articles. Any other disadvantage? I have already observed also that some files that you have uploaded in the Mendeley server after, and you have already used it in your citing in your article. Some of these files become also gone missing. Maybe for some reason it is deleted in the server. Even if you are not deleting it yourself, there is a possibility that when you click the article that you have downloaded before, it is locked already. You cannot use it. To use it again, you need to upload it again in the Mendeley server. Or you can cite it, but you cannot see the article. Okay, so that is, who is the last one who spoke?
De Castro po, sir.
Okay, De Castro. All in all, it's fun to use Mendeley. I can't imagine writing a paper without this Mendeley software. And it is this citing has become a stumbling block for writers, research writers. Imagine doing it manually. It's very hassle. It will be a hassle and very tiresome, troublesome for writers if you do that citing and doing the bibliography without this kind of software. So let's move to another lesson. Our next topic will be about the Matlab classification learner app. How many of you have already used Matlab in your other subjects? How many? Yeah, you haven't used Matlab before?
Nagamit na po na.
In what subject? Mark Lester? In what subject have you used Matlab before? What subject have you used Matlab before? Anyone?
Sa numerical methods po.
On numerical methods. So is your teacher?
Ma'am Dizon po.
Si Ma'am Dison. Okay. Okay. Matlab is a very good software. It has many applications, especially in mathematics and numerical methods, in digital signal processing. Actually, it is a one course in other universities. Using Matlab is one course for that. You have this programming, and they have also this Matlab utilization. So in this subject, we will use Matlab to write your first paper. To write your first paper, you need Matlab. So since Matlab is not new to you, we will explore its other use, which is the Matlab Classification Learner app. It is in my video, YouTube channel video, how to use Matlab Classification Learner app. Okay, I will share. Actually, I have these two videos in how to use Matlab Classification Learner app. This is the first video. In this video, I use an original data. It means that the data is from the study of one of my students, ECE students. And the other video is how to use Matlab Classification Learner app in Irish dataset. So step one is you must have a data set that you intend to classify. That's step one. You cannot choose the Matlab Classification Learner app without the data. Let's begin. Step one. This video is the data set I use one of my published articles. Where to find it? You just watch that. You need to watch that video. But I'll just introduce the video here. But you need to watch it later in details. So step one is you must have a data set that you intend to classify. This is the data set. I can send you that data set if you want to try. Actually, this can be a paper. This data set has not yet been written into a paper. So if you want to write a paper using this data set, it is also possible. Because as I have mentioned in previous meetings, there is a requirement in this subject, which is to write a paper. So since this data set is not yet been written in a paper, you can use it as long as you cite it properly. So step 2 is you must have a Matlab classification learner app. So this is the environment of the Matlab CLA. How to go to the Matlab CLA. You know that the Matlab ready when these two all the symbols appear ready. Ready. Any indicator that it is ready. So let's click stop. Okay. Classification learner and find the classification learner app. Here. So many apps available in Matlab. Matlab is one of my favorite software. So you just need to follow the procedure. It's a step-by-step procedure. We'll just walk through it, but it's a step-by-step. This is the CBET versus non-CBET. In order to classify CBET copy, the copy eaten by the CBET kit, and the non-CBET copy, the traditional copy which you pick from the copy tree, you use the Matlab classification learner app. I think this is not the dataset that I was mentioning. This dataset has already been published, as I mentioned in this video. The other dataset that I mentioned earlier is another dataset from the previous thesis. So if you want to write a paper about that, you can PM me. You may ask, sir, why are we writing a paper that is not be related to our thesis later? Paper writing is for you to acquire the research culture. This might not be related to your thesis, but you need to acquire research culture. Later, when you are in the industry, will be researcher also. So if you have not acquired it while you are still a college student, you will have a hard time. The projects that will be given to you are research, but the credit will go to the owner of the company. They will pay you for your effort in doing the research, but they will take the credit. That's what we saw. We are seeing in the industry. Example is the Elon Musk. He's taking the credit for the invention of this Tesla car. But there are so many researchers who are behind the development of the Tesla car. That's how it goes in the industry. As a worker, because you are being paid by the company, all your outputs will be named to the company. You cannot claim it. You cannot claim it as yours because you are using the company's resources. So let's go back to this video. So it is a step-by-step. It is a step-by-step video. You can never be lost in this one. Then we press play. So in this Matlab classification learner app, there are 23 classifiers. 23 classifiers. If you will download papers, you will see that you have only one classifiers. So there are so many papers uploaded, research paper uploaded in the internet, and they are just dealing or using just one classifier, and they are published as a research paper. But in this Matlab classification learner app, you can include all the 23 classifiers. So that will be an advantage because some other paper, they are using one or two classifier, and as for your paper, you can use 23 classifier. Or we can determine which of these 23 classifiers is good enough to classify with the highest accuracy the classes that you need to separate or classify. So that is a research already. So we can see here that this video is more than 30 minutes. So that is you need only 30 minutes to produce one paper. If you have this Matlab classification learner and you have a data set. So that's how easy to write a paper of your own. Another thing is we have just have a meeting last Friday. The College of Engineering just had a meeting, and it was brought up that as a CIT student, you can publish in a paid journal. Previously, I mentioned that I only allow you to publish in a pre-publication journal. Now it was mentioned by the college that out of its budget, they will pay the publication fee. So that's good news for us because it is a lot easier to publish in a paid journal, paid Scopus journal, than in a pre-publication journal. But you must consult me first in the journal that you have chosen. Because some journals, even though they are Scopus, they have this predatory nature because Scopus eliminates low performance journal monthly, and when the journal knows that they are about to be eliminated, they just accept whatever paper they have passed to them, that had been passed to them, so they can have money. When they knew that they are about to be eliminated in Scopus Index, they just grab the opportunity to make money. So consult me first. Consult me first. Which journal will you publish? Okay, let's continue. Step 2, use the Matlab classification learner app to classify. So that's the end of the video. It's a 43-minute video. I will give you the data set for this so that you can practice. You can practice hands-on what I have done here. It's already published. That this data set is already been published in one of the paper that I had mentioned. So there is another. So this video uses an original data set. That means that the data set is, I am the one who gathered the data, who organized the data set. But there are data sets that are available in the internet. If you will watch my other video, which is how to write your first research paper, also in my YouTube channel, it was mentioned there that you can use other people's data. So that kind of data is what is tackled in my next video. It is okay, just wait for a while. So in this video, it is the repeat of the process of the first video. The first video, how to use Matlab classification learner app. The second video, how to use the Matlab classification learner app using Irish dataset. So Irish dataset comes from, can be downloaded from the internet. I showed here how it is downloaded. How it is entered into the Matlab classification learner app, and the results that I have gathered. And also in this video, what are the figures that you can use for your paper. So I use the scatter plot, copy paste that in your paper to make it longer. You need to, because the minimum requirement for a paper is 4 pages, at least 4 pages. So to comply with that, you need to download, copy paste this scatter plot, shift print screen to MS Paint, then paste it in your MS Word to be used for your paper. Use scatter plot, the confusion matrix. We also need to copy paste this to your paper to make it again longer. The ROC curve, copy paste also to your paper, and also the parallel coordinates plot. In this parallel coordinates plot, we have 4 features: the petal width, petal length, sepal width, sepal length. These are flowers. The Irish dataset is Irish flower. The dataset is about the Irish, the 3 classes of Irish flower: the Setosa, Virginica, and versicolor. These flowers were measured using a ruler or a caliper or any other measuring device. The petal width, the petal length, the sepal width, and sepal length. And these features became these features, parallel coordinates plot. So you can see here that their petal width, the petal width of the 3 classes of the Irish flower are the same. Are not the same. They are different from one another. Setosa, versicolor, and the Virginica. Although the Virginica and Setosa and the versicolor features are overlapping. But because of machine learning algorithm, this algorithm can automatically classify which of these, just by having the measurements of their features, the algorithm can identify which or what species do they belong. So that's the essence of this paper. This paper also, this research also, I don't know whether someone have done this before, use Matlab classification app for Irish dataset. This proves that these 3 classes of Irish can be differs in terms of these features. So that's the essence of the research. But I warn you, do not use this dataset for your paper because this dataset, the Irish dataset, is one of the most famous dataset in the world, especially in engineering. It has been used in other previous researches. If you are planning to use this to do a paper, maybe the editor of the journal has already known this dataset, and there is a high possibility that your paper will not be accepted. So you just watch this video step by step. Then you can make your own paper. So the next step is to find a dataset wherein you can apply this classification learner app. So it's already March. 1 month have passed. 4 months left before the end of the semester. And we have this requirement to publish a research paper. Whether your paper can be published or not depends on the content, its content. If you have put effort, time, there is a possibility that your paper will be published. But if you just do it haphazardly, just for compliance of the requirement, there is a possibility that your paper will be rejected. So do your research. Choose a journal, whether it's paid or free. Read some articles that are previously published in that journal. I mean previously, because the editor of that journal might change, have already changed. 5 years ago, maybe the original editor had resigned already, replaced by this new editor. And if you need to look out or observe what type of paper can be published in that journal. So you need to choose the previous article to gauge what are those journals that can be published in that paper. What are those journal articles that are published just recently by that editor? What are the papers allowed by that editor to be published in that journal? So it's you need luck also. Luck is also a factor here, because some papers are really we have the so-called hard to please editor. You have to that kind of some papers are like that, and some papers have this not hard to please editor. So we have this kind of factor. But the harder you work on your paper, most likely the luckier you will be. The luckier you get. The effort is directly proportional to the possibility that it will be published. So again, even if it's paid or not, paid or free, it's not your concern. The college will pay for that. But there is one thing you need to know before the college will pay. And that is, you will include me as a co-author. Yes, that is the process. I teach you how to write the paper. I teach you the process, and you must include me as the author. But the main author is you. Main author is you. If you can publish it within the SEM, you are the main author. In some cases, the SEM is over. Semester is over, and the review came back. In this semester, we have passed the article, the manuscript to this specific journal. Then after the SEM is over, the review, there is a possibility that a review will came back, and the comment is to repeat the submission. Sometimes repeat your submission or re-edit your submission. When I ask students to do that, most of the students are graduate, so they don't want to waste time. Because they have already graduated. most of the time their attitude is like that. I don't want to be involved in that already. I don't want to be involved in that because I am already a graduate. So what's the use? I will not fail in the subject if I will not follow your directions, sir. So what happens is I redo the paper. When that happens, sometimes because of the majority of editing, I ask the student to, can I be the first author of this? And most of the response is yes, because they don't want to do anything with the paper anymore because they already graduate. And when I realized that I don't want to waste this paper because the data is good, only how it's written is the obstacle. So I redo it, I repackage it, and depending on the editing or the revisions I've made, if it's 100% revision, then I become the first author. If it is 10-20%, the primary author or the student still the primary author. And sometimes I pay the previously in the that's the process. When it's accepted, when you ask for money in the university, they will not give the money right away. So I need to pay the publication fee out of my own pocket. And I need to I just reimburse what I paid. Example, it is the articles is accepted in January. You pay that publication fee in January, and you can reimburse your money sometime in December. Imagine that your money is, you can utilize your money because it is you have already paid it in the publication fee. But after, in our previous meeting, they promised that the research center of the university promised that the process will change. So we are hopeful that that there will be changes this time. So let's publish in a paid journal. Let's see if what they say will push through. The requirement for the subject, if it is accepted, I'll give you a grade of 1. If it's not accepted, it is rejected, still I'll give you a grade of incomplete. But once it is published, the grade will be 1 also. So there will be 2 types of grade here at the end of the semester. It's either incomplete or 1. But eventually that incomplete will become 1 if you can publish it in 1 year, or it will become 5 because you have not published it in a year. Okay, any question? It's 2:24 already. We'll still have a few minutes. Any question? So I'm assuming that you already know Mendeley. So another skills that you need to acquire is this Matlab classification learner app. Any question? I'll just post the activity 4 in our group chat. Maybe later. The deadline is next meeting. Any question? Okay, let's check the attendance. Irix Maria, are you here? Irix Maria. Dalanon, Miss Dalanon, are you here? Wala, si Irix. Si Digma Vladimir.
Present po, sir.
Yung mga nag-recitation, those who have been recited are considered as present. William Laude. William, wala ka ba rito? Are you here?
Present po si Dalanon.
Okay, present si Dalanon. Nag-message. Ba't hindi ka makapagsalita? Si Rain Auren Orsena.
Present po.
Okay. Present. John Roby. Orsena recited earlier. John Roby Pachag. I can see your name in the screen, but kindly state present. Kindly say present. John Roby. John Roby. Say present if you are here. Maybe you're doing some housework. Okay, message. John Roby is here. Mark Harold Pega.
Present po.
Grant Lawrence Plaza.
Present po.
Mark John Pozo.
Sir, present po.
Abigail Ramos. Abigail.
Present po.
Mark Lester Simbi. Okay, just recited earlier. Mark J. Tolentino.
Po.
Reynan Balsote.
Present po.
Okay. Reynan Balsote. Vince Allen E. Velasco.
Present po, sir.
Chrislyn Joy Bianya.
Present po.
Okay.
Sir, present po ako.
Sino yan?
Dalanon po.
Okay, present.
Dalanon.
Present. Ang wala ay si Bloody Mark. Andito ka ba, Bloody? Ayun. Ayaw magsalita eh.
Sir, present po.
Bloody Mark. Laude William. Laude. Absent talaga si Laude. Okay. Only William C. Laude is absent. So, are there any questions in our discussion? So you need to go back to watch those videos. I think for your activity number 4 is just redo the Matlab classification learner app using the Irish dataset and upload it in your YouTube channel. Just give me the link. Redo Matlab classification learner app. So redo the Matlab classification learner app using the Irish dataset. Okay. Using the Irish dataset. Any other question? Because there are no questions, I think
Sir, kailan?
the deadline is next week, Monday. I'll give you enough time to study. A week to study that video. And Thursday, I don't know. I think I have a meeting. If I have no meeting, then we'll proceed with our discussion of the next topic. So redo Matlab classification learner app using Irish dataset. That's the required activity. But you need to start looking for paper to write. You need to start downloading dataset wherein you can write your paper. Somewhat related to computer engineering. Your dataset can be in agriculture. It is related to computer engineering because we are using the machine learning algorithms. That is computer engineering. That is an engineering approach. So whatever dataset that needs classification, it is available in the internet. Thousands and thousands of datasets already in the internet that you can use freely. Some researchers are offering their dataset for free. Other people's dataset. You can make your own dataset if you want. For example, you want to classify coffee in terms of leaves. You can do that. There are 4 species of coffees in Cavite: Arabica, Excelsa, Robusta, Liberica. You can do that. But you can use other people's dataset. Okay? No question. I think you need to get out of the room because section 2 will follow. I will have a meeting with section 2. Thank you very much for attending the class. I hope you are submitting the requirements.
Po, sir.
Even though I have not yet checked it already, I will check it. That's for sure. And if you are late, it will not be accepted. I will give further instruction. But for the meantime, just wait for it in the other group chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you po.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po, sir.
I'll end the meeting.
Thank you po, sir.